Hello, it's been a little while since I have posted anything because I've been taking a nice little basic social media break, still scrolling and whatever, but just not making things and posting. But I wanted to show our first proper sort of frosty, haily snow that we've got here in Donegal. And everything's looking very white and lovely. I hope you can hear me okay over the sound of the road below us, which is quite busy, and any sort of slush on the road can mean that it's quite loud. But I'm in a new part of the garden that we're starting to develop, so we sneak look at what we're hoping to do for the rest of this year. But I'll just turn this camera around so you can have a look at the mountains. That is the busy road down below, and I hope you can hear me okay over that. But we're kind of looking almost due south here, and looking at what last year was a sort of one of our lockdown projects, which was creating this sort of crop bed and building some soil there. So we grew potatoes here last year, and they were relatively successful, and considering they were growing in barely any soil. And we just made up some soil from around maybe 50 bags of seaweed, a whole bunch of waste hay that had been sitting in somebody's barn for about 10 plus years, and grass and all sorts of other things, manure, a bunch of other things, and we just kind of layered it, a whole lot of cardboard as well. As I say, we grew potatoes in there, and it went pretty well. And now it is currently seeded out to 2 varieties of garlic. There's a sort of white stick here, and here there's another bit of gorse. That central row has elephant garlic, and then we have Messidor and Morado varieties of garlic that we got from Fruit Hill Farm in Cork, where we get all of our organic seeds, potatoes, garlic, those sorts of things. But so we're gonna, for this year, develop this garden a little further, tentative steps. So let me just step back and see. So if we are looking at a sort of arc-shaped garden that goes right around to here. And what this will comprise of is, at the back side of it, so just beyond the end of this bed, a hedgerow, which is a mixed hedgerow of flowering trees, hawthorn, crabapple, rowan, so kind of the larger side of things, but not too densely planted so that light can still get through, and we'll keep them fairly small. We would like to still be able to see the lake through, but we have cleared some gorse, and this will be eventually in the coming years slowly brought into some production space. But for now, what we're doing is cutting up the gorse tops, and I will mulch these heavily with seaweed and a bunch of other things. So this little pocket bed, it's kind of a sort of wedge shape or triangle shape. These circular cages were where we grew some potatoes in those, and also built some soil in there. So we have some cuttings of currants and just berries, and there's a few raspberries have made it, and maybe an elder or two. So they will become a sort of guild in here. And if you're not sure what a guild is kind of a collection of multi-layers going from root layer right up to sort of small tree layer, all working together and providing support for each other, shelter for each other, nourishment for each other, and where you can pack quite a lot of a variety of production into a small space. So here's the first. There's another just here, which is again a sort of a wedge shape this way. It has a little keyhole in here. It comes back out and continues around here. And then where these sticks, I've just sketched this out just with some gorse sticks. And this will be more on contour, some little raised no-dig beds. But going over here, we can see the beginnings of the sketch where we have been adding layer of, there's a bunch of the potatoes that we grew so they can do their work. There's the compost that we've been making, the stalks from the, that's what is in there, the stalks and all the sort of dead things from the polytunnel have all decided that they're going to join in this melange. And this arc kind of starts here, comes along, there's a little break here where this pathway runs through and then continues along here. So this side of the gorse, and then the other side, the outside of this gorse, which will kind of trim down but keep alive. You can kind of see that sketch continuing, which we'll just keep layering and adding to. We did, I think, measure the kind of the perimeter. We're kind of looking at a quadrant of a circle, I suppose, with where I began the video. I was just standing over here. So hopefully that's it's going to be a long project. It's going to take a few years, but we're kind of hopeful this will be a secondary sort of mixed use garden. But given that this is our southerly aspect, southwesterly I suppose, this is a prime spot. If we can build up some shelter with that hedgerow, we can make quite a lovely little pocket garden in here, which will be a mix of fruit bushes, fruit trees, a sort of orchardy thing, a continual sort of food forest element or forest garden element at the back, some production space, and then maybe a little small workshop-y thing in here as a structure. But there's already some trees that have been planted through here, so we'll work around them, incorporate them into what we're wanting to develop. But it's quite a good spot with lovely views. I can envisage working here and enjoying the view. We're now just at the southerly end. It's hard to see slope on camera, but Nina, I think maybe 2 years ago, a ball once got stuck in this gorse bush, and she remembers and decides she's going to cry by the gorse bush every time we pass it. Despite the fact that on the way down here I counted 4 balls that she's just left in strategic places. But no, crying at this gorse bush is lots more fun, isn't it, Nina? Anyway, yes, it's hard to see slope, but this is that bed that we made last year that we grew the potatoes in and now have garlic in. Looks quite lovely in the shadow of the mountain. But I don't know, I think I might make a little trundle wheel or way of being able to sort of measure what size of space we're creating here. But it's really only a little corner of the just over an acre and a half that we have. And so it'll be interesting to see how much we pack in there. I don't have the heart to take this little pine tree out, so I think I'll just toperize him. And he can live in here with some fruit trees and fruit bushes and herbs and other smaller plants. It was maybe 2 months ago, maybe less, 6 weeks ago, that we cut the tops off this gorse. And even though we're in winter, you can see it's still regenerating. It's pretty magic stuff. It is a fantastic nitrogen fixture if you've ever seen anything that I've talked about regarding gorse. I do love it. It's a nitrogen fixer, it's a native shrub. We use it as a nursery by planting trees into it, and it protects them while they grow up and out of the top of the gorse. It's much maligned. People kind of don't really like it, but I do. I love it. So slowly over time, I think we will reduce them and add their structure into the hedgerow. We're not too far, we're just kind of over the hill here. This hill that is just above my finger is where, on the other side, Glenveigh National Park is, and they have some lovely hedging that is made from, made from gorse. Is there a ball in here too? Are you going to get it? Be careful, it's prickly. What's in there? We just find you one of the myriad balls that are lying around the place, no? It's getting chilly now, so I might do a little bit of moving, cutting, organising to keep my circulation going and my toes warm. But just a little check-in, say hello, Happy New Year everybody.